Welcome back to Richmond Made. This is Lélas, our more than 200-year-old farm in the heart of rural France, which we are slowly bringing back to life, all while we keep in our day jobs and sharing the journey with you. We are starting with the smallest building on the property, restoring it as traditionally as we can, so it can stand for generations to come. What do you have there?
I have something that I have been dreaming about. Bit extreme, but I've been dreaming about this for 15 years, maybe? I think 15 years.
What is in this box?
I have wanted this, something like this, for years. But I've never found one that I thought would work for me and also look good as well. Got to think about that as well, about the look. But by pure fluke, I came across something on social media, a company that specializes this. Not tailor-made, but on the cusp of it being tailor-made. And it's a work belt.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Belt.
Oh no, but it's something.
That looks nice.
Oh.
Ooh.
Holy. And I've had my hammer for 12 years, and I've finally treated myself to a new hammer because the other one's starting to get.
Cool.
It is, yeah.
Can I have the other one?
Yeah, by all means. By all means. The most important thing. Holy.
Is it heavy? That looks heavy. Okay, put it on. Joy.
Oh
Wow.
And they do branding as well.
That is cool.
Oh my God.
If you find something that is great, it's super to share it, you know. Maybe some other guys.
Sorry, I'm just completely away with the fairies at the minute. Oh my God. But it's premium leather and it feels so nice. Oh my goodness me. I'm going to have so much fun. I'm sorry guys, but I'm going to have to bring you along the journey. I'm going to be stacking the tool belt with the tools, which is going to be brilliant because then the tool bag's not going to be so heavy. The second I came across their website, it was on Instagram, just came up as a feed because the feeds that I look at are construction, woodworking, building, and I just fell in love with it straight away. And I've been trawling through the internet, like I said, for years for a work belt. Oh,
let me film it nicely.
Daddy.
That is very cool. So many pockets.
And it's so versatile.
Yeah.
So this is the hammer hook. So you can have a low hook or you can just flick it out and have it as a high hook because depending on how low you want to have the belt. Oh.
Okay, you should put it on with all your tools, all your bits, and then we film you
I've got to just do one
on
thing
stage.
quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so nice. And it has special slots for the micro square and my big square. Oh, this is so nice. I've got to do a few errands this evening, but I think if Nati doesn't mind, I'm going to bring in my tool bag and I'm just going to start fitting stuff in. And also I opted to go for the harness as well because this is so
heavy.
Comfortable at the minute, but it's going to get heavy. But and it is just quality. That is so nice. Cool. They were so helpful.
Yes, they were super quick with the emails, the amazing support.
Customer service.
Yeah.
And I love the branding. We had to do that. That's just such a smile on my face.
I can see it.
Oh my goodness.
So happy for you, baby.
Thank
Finally.
You. Yeah, I've been bothering Nati for over a year?
A couple of years, I think.
Years.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
With different brands, but this was the best of all.
And it really is. And I've got to show you this last thing. Now this is ingenious.
Wow.
This is how I came by this company. The guy that owns it is a tradesman. He's I don't know if he's a shuttering carpenter, but he's in the trade. And this is genius. This is what you hook onto your string line, and sometimes you have to knock the pin in just to hold the string line in place, whereas this one you push down and that hook, that goes into the material and it stays there, and then you can do the ping line, or you just hook it on and then you do your string line. And that's how I first came by this.
All right. I really want to see you with everything on.
With all the tools?
Yeah. With all the belt and that thing.
The quality is unreal. I am head over impressed. Do you want to feel it? Have you felt it?
Yeah, I felt it.
Gonna have to get you one as well. It's so good. And then as well, look at the hook as well.
The hook.
That's for
very
the nail
important.
gun when we're on the roof.
Of
doing
course.
Ping, ping, ping.
Gosh, I'm so happy for you, baby.
Thank you.
Come on, beautiful. We came for a lovely walk with Mollie in the mornings. It's not too far from home. Very, very close, actually, because you are an elderly lady now, so you don't walk that much, mostly in the heat. And our guardian dog. Are you sleepy as mommy? Yes. Shall we go for your breakfast, my love? Yeah? Would you like that? Shall we go for food? Let's go for food. I like to start my mornings by feeding Mollie and the kittens, watering the plants, and then sitting down for a little breakfast and a coffee while I think about everything that needs to be done. And looking around this morning, I think it's definitely time I gave the landscape a little attention. But before I head outside, I need to brush my teeth, and this actually brings me very nicely to this quick ad from Suri, who is sponsoring today's video. You know, our lives are always very busy. We are constantly jumping between jobs at the chateau and here with the renovation, looking after the animals, cooking, gardening, filming, all of that. So we are very much at the point that we need the everyday things in our lives to be as simple and work effective as they can. And that is one of the things that we really love about our Suri toothbrushes. I've used manual toothbrushes before, but I never feel like I get quite the same clean. And with other electric toothbrushes, there always seems to be something else on the bathroom counter. Chargers, cables, or I suddenly discovered that they ran out of battery when I was about to use them. But with Suri, I don't need to think about that. The battery lasts for over a month. The mirror mount keeps everything neat and off the sink. Well, we have it on the side actually because it works perfectly with our tiles too. And it gives me a really powerful clean, but feeling very gentle at the same time. It's also made from this lovely aluminium body, so it feels really nice and substantial to use, and the heads are plant-based, and Suri will recycle the used heads for free. And this is something that we have found particularly useful with all the traveling we do, even to the chateau, because I take it with me, is the UVC travel case. Just put the toothbrush inside, close it, and with this bottom, you see the light? It is cleaning the toothbrush. So between this and the long battery life, it's just so easy to take in Suri with me everywhere. So if you would like to try Suri, you can use our code Richmond Made for a 50% off. You will find the link here and in the description box below. Teeth done, now we need to tackle that jungle outside. It was getting a little complicated to reach the tomato plants to water them, or even to pick the tomatoes that were ready for our salads. And they taste so much better than the ones from the supermarket. But I'm still very new to all this gardening thing, so the harvest isn't exactly massive just yet. If I focus very close to it, it feels like it's a massive caprese salad, but look at the size of the fork. This is a tiny little...
But it's from the
garden. Yes.
The basil's from the garden, the tomatoes are from the garden, the buffalo mozzarella is from the field. No, somewhere.
Not that much yet. Not yet.
Not yet. That's a very healthy lunch.
Thank you. Well,
it's not all we're having.
No. We're having some paninis as well, with more tomatoes from the garden. Bon appetit. We are taking the big beams back down as we are finally ready to start building the roof trusses.
Nati and I were just talking about this. It's a habit for as long as I've been doing it. I always hook my tape on this side, but now I've got it on this side. So it's getting into a habit of moving around, but sporting this, it's getting into the habit. Getting into the habit. 17. Let's pick up our upright. I think we're going to get our upright out of this heap here.
You need my help, my love?
Yes, please. If you just flip it over. It's absolutely fine doing measurements with a tape. There's no issues with that over a certain size. But when it comes to more finer detailed measuring, I always prefer to use a ruler. I've just got my steel one to hand. I've got a selection in the workshop where the precise measurements are a little bit more crucial instead of using a tape, because with the tape there's always that slight little movement with a hook. I want to see if Nati, who's actually with me at the minute, we're working together, I want to see if she'll notice what I'm going to ask her to do. So I'm going to disturb her from her working.
Yeah, sorry, baby. You need me?
I want to see if you could notice something. If you come over to here, if you could grab a handful of the sawdust, just a handful, a good old handful, and then squeeze it and just move it around, see what do you notice?
It's humid?
Yeah, it's wet.
Ooh.
You can feel that, can you?
Yes.
So that shows...
so much water in it.
So it shows you how the surface makes you...
Sorry, it can have a little bit of shape because of the humidity.
Because of the humidity in there.
Look at that.
So it makes you think that the surface, it's solid and bone dry, but actually the second you go between probably an inch, maybe, yeah, just an inch from the surface down, that's when you start to realise that the moisture content is still astronomical inside. And that's what you want, because when you're doing this kind of jointing with a mortise and tenon, with green oak, when you knock the peg in, which is seasoned, this moisture inside is going to slowly dissipate coming out of it, and the wood is going to start shrinking, but the solid peg that you put through doesn't shrink, so it squeezes around that seasoned peg and it just makes the joint super duper hard. But when you make this much sawdust, you really realize how wet it really truly is.
Well, but now that we are here and I see these little cracks on the wood, I remember that one of my questions not long ago, and people has been asking the same in the comments, is what happened with the wood when it has these cracks like that? Are they still safe?
Still absolutely safe. It's basically a natural way for the timber to expel the moisture that's within its core. So whatever dimensions you look at, whether it's 100 by 100 or like these 200 by 200 mil, you sort of expect between 20 to 25 millimeters a year going through the actual core of the wood drying. So something like this is going to take years to fully dry throughout, is the moisture being drawn out when it's nice and hot weather like this. So what it does is it needs to find a way for it to be expelled. So these cracks appear, and that's just its natural way of letting out the moisture being drawn out by the atmosphere. With these cracks, there's no need to worry because of where they're actually going, because they're going with the grain. It's saying if it was going against the grain, that's when you should worry. But normally, most of this will be a normal, naturally flowing grain crack is fine. So there's no issues with this.
Okay, so it doesn't lose integrity, it doesn't lose any support, strength or anything.
No, it's absolutely fine.
All cushy.
It's all cushy. You'll see kiln dried timber.
Yeah.
That goes into, if you imagine an oven on steroids, just gargantuan, these gargantuan kilns where they push the timber in and they suck the moisture out, but it's in a controlled environment. You don't get this kind of natural beauty, because usually that kind of timber you use for second fixing, so door liners, door planks, that kind of thing, where some people don't want to see this kind of naturally occurring drying process. Whereas this has just been cut down. The tree's been cut down, put through a massive gargantuan bandsaw, and basically just put into these big old chunks and then just left outside for it to naturally dry itself.
Yeah, with rain, with sun, with snow.
With snow, exactly, yeah.
I do like the cracks.
So yeah, so you got two choices: naturally air dried or kiln dried.
Sorry,
but you lose its character.
Just want to film a little bit of this part here because it's very beautiful.
It's just different applications. This needs to be big and sturdy, so that's another big part, because you know that this needs to be a bit more hard wearing, and it doesn't need to be prim and proper and perfect.
Yeah.
So this application is perfect. And then you go to the indoor stuff, where you have central heating, because that plays a huge part. You put something like this that's naturally air drying automatically into a centrally heated, double glazed home, it will just go on a little adventure of twists and turns and shakes and cracks. So this isn't stable enough to be in that kind of environment. Whereas something that's kiln dried, which its moisture content is to a minimum, will stay stable in that kind of environment. Does that make sense, babe?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I am my father's son, and Papa likes to talk, and I like to talk.
I know.
Well, you tell me I like to talk.
I just love the cracks.
It's just got character. Yeah. Hasn't it?
Yeah, and the best part, because I was really, really concerned when I start seeing the wood like this, but if you think that it's totally safe,
okay,
it's like concrete, you said?
If you can remember vaguely, when we took down the garage, do you remember that? Yeah. Do you remember how heavy those pieces of timbers were? Yeah. Yeah. So that, let's not say 200 years, but let's just say 100 years. That had been cut naturally as well. They wouldn't have kiln dried that. That would have been cut down, and it was just shaped to make the roof. And that was standing for 100 years, and it still had mass to it. You know, it was still so heavy to move. Yeah. And that's exactly the same kind of style that this has been done. So if that stood for 100 years plus, this will stand for another 100 plus years, because also we're adding a few more man-made products, whereas the previous building didn't have a vapor barrier on the roof, so it felt. So previously, when it rained, you still maybe occasionally got the occasional raindrop that worked its way through the peg tiles. Whereas with this roof, once we've got the structure up, we're going to be putting a membrane over it with the battens to then put the tiles. So it's got an added protection to keep the longevity high on the new timbers that we're putting in.
Fantastic. I'm so looking forward to that stage.
So am I. Because when we get to that stage, we're basically there.
Yes.
Yeah. So nice. Oh, it's comfortable as well.
You look very handsome with it. Very sexy.
I was saying as well, it's having everything on your persons. I don't know which hammer to go for, because this is too shiny and nice and new, and I don't want to spoil it.
Well, you have to use it as
I could keep it for the workshop. Let us know in the comments what you think I should do. Whether I should sport the new hammer on the tool belt, everyday use, or keep on using the old school OG that's never let me down, and use this for the workshop in controlled environments. I need to put a hook in the van so I can. So you can
hold it, yeah.
It's so nice. It's like a new wallet. Nati wants to try it on.
Yeah. This is for a strong man, I think. Or strong women.
Or
strong people.
Darling, you are strong. Oh, that is so much better. Sorry about the view. Yeah? Now turn around so that I can see what the suspenders look like on the back. Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like?
I just love the branding, the logo.
Yeah.
That is an amazing touch. That is such a clever touch to put on.
Is this square?
That's the micro square. No, it's true. That's the micro square. It's actually, you'd be surprised how useful it is. Yeah. And then you've got the bigger square on the other side. There you go. So I think it is already 10 out of 10. Now, the proof is in the pudding for tomorrow at work, and then later on going up and down the scaffolding, having the stuff dangling around. But to be fair, I think the setup at the minute is perfect. So, wow.
You're ready for a hard day tomorrow?
I think work is going to go like break-leg speed. Hypersonic.
Yeah, let's not break anything. No legs, no nothing.
Hope you've enjoyed this evening's vlog. See you next time.